And now, you're tuned into Tampa Bay's RBLR Sports.
Hi, and welcome to RBLR. My name is Lizzie Wiederecht, and today we have a guest on. We have Chris Horsley. Say hi.
How you doing?
Today we are going to be talking about all things women's soccer, but specifically the upcoming USL Super League. It's very much anticipated, very exciting, lots of mystery around it. But first, be sure to go and look up RBLR Sports on all social media. You want to subscribe, like, whatever it is, comment, tell us how much you love us for sure, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel to get the full experience. Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your history with soccer, how you got into soccer, all that.
Well, my name's Chris Horsley. I'm a local of the St. Petersburg area, active on Ralph's Mob. I've been playing soccer since I was a kid, refereed a couple of years in the Tampa Bay area, and was helpful as a coach in like Largo United, little clubs like that. Yeah, I'm just happy to be in the area and seeing women's soccer being brought out. I had to go and attend and get a piece of what's happening.
Very cool. Awesome. All right. Thing at the top of most people's minds with the USL is we have a president and we also have a head coach, which is very cool. So our head coach is Denise Schild Brown. So because she was the former USF women's soccer coach, she's got 17 seasons currently finished, or she'll have 17 seasons, completed by the time she's finished working at USF and moves on to the USL Super League. Her record is 174, 91, 41. So she definitely has an illustrious career. And she has 4 players currently playing in the 2023 Women's World Cup. So I know she's definitely cheering them on. She's mentioned that in a couple articles that I was reading when I was looking up stuff about her. She is very cool, very active in the community, and has a great history in Tampa Bay. So I'm very excited to see what she does with the team. I couldn't find much else about her, unfortunately, because there's just not a lot there because it's women's soccer. Unfortunately.
Same, yeah. Trying to find any info,
that sounds terrible, but that really is what it is. There's just wasn't a lot of coverage in terms of like going really in depth. Hopefully that changes with this. People will start taking notice, especially if she comes out with a bang. And we're assuming that she'll take a lot of her maybe USF players that either maybe tried for the NWSL, didn't quite make it, or maybe were in the went over to the W League, the USLW League, which is the semi-pro division. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the semi-pro. No? I think it is. I'm 90% sure. Yes, yeah, it is. Yeah, the USLW, which is the semi-pro division. So I'm assuming, as they've said previously, that they do want to create a pyramid and have their players go up and down through it.
Mm-hmm. It's exciting to see they went with someone local as well, because that will definitely help out with the developmental pyramid, bringing people up from even Tampa Bay United for the women's team that did so well this year in the division.
Yeah, and it's all the teams that I think she helps. I believe I read that she helps out a lot in the community. So I'm sure there's tons of players who have just been like at camps and seen her and learned from her and been like, oh my gosh, she's amazing, or she's so
and will
smart,
want to play.
She's got the and really, really want to play. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be awesome.
Oh yeah, it's cool to see them putting down their roots.
Yeah, and I like, as you said, I like that they pick someone local. It really does show that they want to stay within the Tampa Bay brand. They're not going to go and just like, pull someone from someplace because they're a good soccer coach. The end.
Right.
Yeah.
And even with the president, it's still Florida.
Yeah. Local. Yep. Yeah, she's Sarasota native, right? It's moving into that Christina Uncle.
Yeah, I saw she had awards. I'm looking up her accolades.
Yeah, she's a VAR certified pro ref, a lawyer, and soccer broadcast analyst. So I know that she's been consulted for a lot.
Yeah, she comes in on games and will give laws analysis. It's very helpful and insightful. It's a good move. I think I saw her in WSL broadcast. I'm not sure on that one per se.
Oh, okay, no, but that's awesome. Yeah, because she is certified pro ref, so they do. Yeah, they do NWSL and
Yeah,
MLS games,
it might have
right?
been Apple broadcast. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. Apple would be MLS.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. But
No,
yeah,
that's
I've seen her piped in before to give analysis. It's helpful. It's cool seeing pro refs like that to give analysis and then
yeah, because even NWSL or MLS, either way, that's broadcast TV. That's awesome. That's very
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes the fans hate her because she's a ref. You know, get that
Yeah. Well,
little bit of engagement.
well, they know her.
It's true. It's true. I'm excited to have her come here. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you said you said she's local to the community. Have you had any
She's a
interaction with her?
no. I refereed a decade
Okay.
ago. You know,
Okay.
but she's currently active in it, and that's got my heart. So
Very cool. So you also attended the community outreach event. We went to the same one, for
yes,
Largo, which was really cool. We got scarves. They were loving to hand stuff out. They gave us food from a local Greek place. Of course, I can't remember the name of it because it was like a month and a half ago at this point, or
yeah.
no,
I
like a
remember
month
the
ago.
food better than the name. It was very good.
Food was really good. It was a local Greek place for sure. And they did it at the Largo Community Center, which I can't think of the word I'm looking for right now, but either way, I think was a great place to do it. As a side note, one of the other places they did it was actually the Roberts Rec Center, which like I remember taking literal like sewing classes there as a kid, like taking like home ec kind of classes during the summer. So I love the places they chose. I think they were great places to show that they really are we want to talk to the real people of the community. It's not just people who are just going to pay the money out to have their
Right,
opinion.
an event somewhere.
Yeah. And they're not
I
gonna,
understand that.
and they got local food. They're not just trying to throw a whole bunch of flashy stuff at us.
That is true.
We held it in a little spot in a community center in a where there's like a library and stuff. It was great. I loved it. It was very intimate. I really thought we got to talk to them, and I thought they really heard us for sure.
Yeah,
They
it was
weren't
good
just
to hear
like,
them.
yes, standing.
It was good to hear them actually respond to what we were saying back to them and taking it in. Like we talked a little bit about the colors that we wanted, and they definitely were receptive to more pastels, to more like colors that have ties to the community to reflect the area.
Yeah,
And this
I
was
know
good to see.
yeah, it was a lot of like pastel pinks and blues, teals.
A little bit of
Uh,
green in there,
yeah, of course
aqua
we love.
colors. Yeah, something that's
Yeah,
very kind of beachy. So we'll see what they go with. They seem to be have their mindset on certain things, like moving on to like the stadium choices. They asked us where they thought would be best, but it kind of seemed like they're set on Ebor.
yes, they do seem very Ybor based, which makes
Yeah,
sense because that is where the owners do own majority of their property. Is where they have a lot of their pull. I get it, absolutely. Do what you can, but obviously, I'm biased. I just don't want to drive over the bridge because I'm lazy and I don't like driving over the bridge. But I will do it for women's soccer. I absolutely will.
that's fair. Yeah, it'll be the closest team. Better than driving
Yeah, I
across the
well,
bridge and over
we
to
don't know.
Orlando.
One of the many questions we have is where are they going to play in 2024? We don't know. They could play somewhere in Ybor. Obviously, that would be really cool. I would love if they played where the Rowdies play. I don't know how that would work out in any way, shape, or form,
The
but
dream.
I would lose my mind. Like just yeah.
When the W League team, I think, was announced with the Rowdies ties, and they had free season. They're like, every game's gonna be free at Outlang. That's the dream. That was just the dream to be able to have free soccer downtown.
In the before four times.
The dream, but yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I remember that. I was very excited. They said they were going to have free games. It was going to be at the stadium. They were very insistent on that. Um, I still have hope. We'll see because they did still go ahead and they expanded. The Rowdies did expand their training facilities. Just to digress for a minute, but they did expand their training facilities to show that they can handle multiple teams. Whether that's just to host other teams or to have more teams, who
Right.
knows? But going back to the S League community event, which was very interesting. So they asked a lot of questions about just a lot of questions about how Tampa Bay felt as a brand, almost as a feeling, as a color, as an animal, all of these
Yeah.
things.
What's your favorite landmark and what's your
Yeah.
favorite animal from the area? It was cool to see the responses though. I mean, Skyway came up a lot, I think.
Yeah.
The Dances are downtown. If you can think of any, I know Pelicans came up a lot, so hopefully they'll be more receptive to that. We might end up with like a Pelican brand of some sort. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, that would be interesting. They did say the designer there, and they did bring in, I forgot, I don't remember his qualifications, but he like his specific ones, but he had designed, was it Monterey? It was a couple of USL.
Lexington, maybe?
Yeah, it was a couple
A
of
couple crests.
USL, yeah, USL Championship and Division One, I think, teams.
And I think a
And
team over in England as well, yeah.
yes, that's correct. Yeah, that was right. And they were absolutely gorgeous. I loved their logos. They had that nice, like,
Very
minimalist
clean.
design, but still really bringing the concept together kind of thing. I
Not
definitely remember
boring.
Monterey being one of them.
Yeah, they're not boring, which I think was a very good thing to see. A lot of modern club design will go with just a simple a roundel and then just put the name inside of it in a letter or something like that. And his
You can
actually
say
had
San Francisco. It's fine. The San Francisco
the
NWSL
B.
team. The big old B. Ooh.
Hey, it gets the point across, I guess. But it was cool to see his badges having a plane in it or a crown, something that
Yeah.
actually will tie, hopefully a pelican.
Yeah, I
Biased.
think we're gonna get some really good branding out of this. I'm very excited, and I really hope the Rowdies take note and also make some better branding and merch. Hint, hint.
They are trying. Again, to
Yes, they are.
digress, they are
The Bay
trying.
Republic is a vast improvement. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What was some of the other things that they wanted to talk about? They did.
I thought it was interesting to note that I don't remember who brought it up, but they brought up that the USLS season going from August to June allows them to pull European players that might not have been able to come across earlier because of the schedule conflict. So that gives them the full, open window. And I think
Yeah.
it's interesting to hear coming from the front office because that means they might actually be intending to do that to pull talent here, as well as coming from Tampa United or whatever developmental pyramid they create.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think because they're going to have so much competition with the NWSL because that's the known established league, they're going to have to prospect players from everywhere for the teams. I get that. Like it's not all going to be local players, and I don't want it to be all local players. We need some people, some other players thrown in, and I would love to have some foreign players. That would be awesome.
It's
Like
what the
especially
league
bringing
needs
them
to
to
grow.
Tampa Bay. Oh,
Yeah.
imagine the soccer we could see.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Interesting point too.
Yeah. No, you were
Interesting point too that I saw brought up about the discussion just about the USLS league is that it gives players an option if they're coming out of college and they get drafted by an NWSL team, they can choose to decline that draft and just go to a USLS team. It's in the same way that players in the past, like Mia Fishel, who was drafted at the Pride, like 5th overall, just in 2022, and instead chose to go to Tigres because she wanted to play for a team with title aspirations. And she won the Golden Boot there. So like, it's a viable option for now with players coming out of college who don't want to accept the NWSL draft that they've been assigned to.
It's also an interesting choice if they want to skip college.
Yes.
Because we have had several players just skip college. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I know. Yeah, Katarina Macario.
Yeah,
who
Katarina
left
Macario,
college
yeah.
junior year.
It's just we're gonna skip college. It's all good.
If Chelsea came to my door,
yeah, fair enough.
I'm there.
Absolutely. No, which is really cool, honestly, that's even an option. Like
Yes.
that's unheard of. Most of it is like as far as I know, it's you do like a club team until you go to college, then you do college team and you try to do a really good college team, try to get
and then you get drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is giving alternate routes to professional soccer play, and that's better for the players.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so the international schedule is they have August. June to August. That's what you said. And then the NWSL has their kind of odd schedule of March to October, with the Challenge Cup thrown in at any random time that they feel like applying it, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, when the price of something goes down.
Yeah. Because they're doing the Challenge Cup right now during the World Cup. Why?
No comments.
Yeah. Why? But
it's also why I'm excited by the S League to get alternative, and they might be pushing for Division 1 sanctioning, which would allow them to dethroned NWSL to a degree. So we'll
Yeah,
see how that shapes up.
everything really hinges on that Division I standing. They get
Yeah.
that, and they are golden. Honestly, I don't want to say it's
Yeah.
all smooth sailing from there, but it is a lot easier. I think they'll have a time that they'll have, because if they
Better
don't get that,
draw.
their Division
Yeah.
II, it's just not going to be the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. And talking about competing leagues, Europe, just to kind of look across the pond, Europe has hundreds of small leagues. There's like so many, and there's no draft over there. They focus mostly on academies, and they have pro rel, that kind of thing. So it's not entirely unheard of to have two leagues. It's just not super heard of in the US.
That's fair.
We have one league for everything. We got one baseball league. We got the one, and
We
then
have
from
businesses
there,
that try and keep it.
pyramid. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything very singular, very vertical, in the US. So I'm interested to see if I think there's enough fans. I'm just interested to see how the divide happens, and how much overlap there will be. I'm hoping there's going to be just a ton of overlap, just people excited to see soccer.
I see no reason why not to go to both NWSL, S League, and W League. It's soccer. There's more soccer, the more better. Like I go to local Division 4 side games, and it's just fun to watch soccer.
Yeah, it really is.
Shout out St. Pete FC.
Hey. And one of the other points that they were bringing up was that they wanted to have a competitive salary. So for Division I, that's really only 37,000 is the base salary for the NWSL. That's not hard to match. Yeah, I want to say that's not hard to match at all. So granted, you're going to have those players that are going to take up a bigger portion of the budget. Hopefully you the players that are going to be the draw, which I can't wait to see what kind of players they try and recruit to be their quote unquote, their star players, their players that are going to be in all the ads and stuff.
Right.
And then there's also like their fees to join. The fees to join. The recent one for the Angel City was 50 million, which was insane. So I can't even imagine. I'm hoping that the S League will just will have a much lower scale to join, and hopefully make the league bigger, like the MLS, because the MLS has, how many teams does the MLS have? I'm sorry, I'm so bad at remembering specifics.
They're always expanding. I think it's over 30 now, I believe.
Yeah. So yeah, over 30, which is, oh my God, I can't even imagine that many women's soccer teams.
Similar to the USL. Yeah, they make it accessible for people to 29. They make it accessible for teams to join the league, and that just allows for ownership groups that have the passion to actually move into the sport and not have to entirely sell their brand to MLS or start at the very grassroots.
Yeah, I mean, even NWSL, man, they have had such a time. Like, this has been the most successful iteration of a women's soccer league in US history, which thank God. But that's still, we're only at 10, I don't know how many years off the top of my head. But it's shorter than you think.
Right.
I think it's less than 10
But the
years.
lengths are getting longer, I believe, as the leagues have come and gone, which is showing that it's slowly, go ahead.
Yeah, but what's killing me is NWSL founded 2012. Yeah, so not that long. Okay, so over 10 years then. I apologize. It didn't feel like that long ago.
It's 2023 now.
Yeah. But my problem is that MLS has 30 teams. NWSL has been sitting at between 10 and 12 teams for ever.
And they try to expand but can't seem to keep the teams while expanding. And that's
it's bonkers. They just keep moving them around. What was it? Kansas became Utah, which became something else. And then, I've had trouble following that league. Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but and then Sky Blue was what became something else, which then became Gotham or something. It's but it's the same team. They're just putting a new name on it.
Right.
Let's see, what were some of the other things?
But yeah, it's good to see the stability coming to women's soccer.
Yeah, for sure. Since we're moving into the NWSL stuff, a number of teams have been announced for the S League, and there's actually a fair amount of counterparts in NWSL for the market locations that they listed. So for the S League, we have Carolina. They just said I think they just said the Carolinas. So that could be North Carolina Courage
I
for
should have
sure.
that league. Yeah.
They had the market area of Dallas Fort Worth. So you have Houston could be a local rival. I don't know where they are in location. I know Texas is huge. I think it's one of those ones like Florida where you just keep driving forever and then you never leave the state.
It's it just expanses.
Yeah, but then Lexington, they have Racing Louisville right there for the NWSL. I think the only markets they announced that don't have direct competitors are Phoenix and Tucson, which are just both in Arizona. And they did say that Phoenix will have some kind of partnership with Phoenix Rising, which is very interesting and very cool. I like to see partnerships between men's and women's teams. I feel like it only makes both teams stronger.
Yeah, and having the same USL over both leagues allows, I think, a lot easier for that to happen.
Yeah.
To have a men's club just to branch out into the W or even the S League.
I always said, and people scoffed at me, but I was like, I don't understand why MLS and NWSL didn't do this beautiful marriage where every time you have an MLS team open, you just have another NWSL brand also like in the works at least. Like, you know, it's beautiful marriage.
But politics get in the way. Yeah, we could have soccer clubs that just can support. So yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. The other two markets that were that they were announcing in Spokane, sorry, which has Seattle Reign, great team. You've got Megan Rapinoe, however, she is retiring, so I can't remember off the top of my head who their star players are. We also have DC. They announced DC, which has the Spirit, Washington Spirit, playing at Audi Field. So not sure where they're going to play either. It'll be really interesting. I haven't done a ton of research into the other markets, but I am loving that they have so many 7 right off the bat. And they're aiming for 10 to 12 teams. And then there's also the other markets like, wait, no, I thought there was more. Wasn't there Jacksonville too? I might have missed one.
Jacksonville was on market, I believe.
Yeah. Which also begs the question is the NWSL done with Florida then?
As the markets get snapped up.
Yeah, very interesting. Because I always kind of thought that they might do like a Miami team, at least.
That was my first thought as well. That market's so big.
Then you kind of get the whole state at that point. I mean, not really the Panhandle, but yeah. They're not watching stuff.
No offense. But it almost seems the markets are kind of being picked up. And the smaller ones, even like Jacksonville, which can support an S team, but maybe not an NWSL team.
Yeah, we'll and I think they could do an NWSL team, honestly. Yeah, and so many missed markets, I feel like. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do then. How the NWSL chooses to expand based on this information and based on USL. The league getting that Division I status and actually having a competitor because
that's another very good point.
Yeah, I don't know that in recent memory, definitely not since the NWSL was founded in 2012. There's been like a competing league.
Right.
We've been lucky just to have one.
And having almost a smaller league like the W League allows them to see how the soccer does in those markets before having to even put down a team and fail, maybe, which is super helpful.
That is an excellent point. That's a great way to do. That's a much lower cost way to kind of figure out if that market is viable for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. So moving on to then the Women's World Cup. Very exciting. I have been watching as many games as possible. Yeah.
God.
I mean, trying, but I go to bed at like 11:30.
You gotta make decisions. Yeah. Do I want to sleep tonight, or do I want to watch the game at 3:30 a.m.?
Yeah. It's brutal. It's been interesting though, the games that I have been able to catch. I've been trying to catch as many replays as possible. Fox is mean and they put everything up like a day or two later. They put everything up like 2 days later. So I've been actually pro tip, if you want to watch the games much sooner and you're okay with just listening to them in Spanish, because if you speak Spanish, it's so much better anyway. And even if you don't speak Spanish, it's still better than listening to Alexi Lawless talk. They have it on Paramount Plus, pretty, like, I think a day after the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the Paramount Plus, not, wait, is it Paramount Plus? Yeah, Paramount Plus, I think. Or Peacock. I'm sorry, not Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
I'm getting them mixed up with NWSL.
No.
Peacock. Peacock has them.
You might
like,
need to
the day
edit
after.
this, but you can also just watch it in an incognito window on Fox Soccer, and you can watch the first half and just refresh it and watch the second half. Give you an hour free time, so you can just watch the second half. Anyways, yeah.
All soccer is good soccer.
That's right.
So we've had some interesting games, and I think we've definitely seen we've definitely seen how far some of these smaller countries and teams have come since the last World Cup, for sure. There have been a lot more 0-0 draws or 1-0 wins than I expected.
Jamaica tying France. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
I mean, oh man, the bunny shot with the red card though, and being out the next game. My heart will break for Jamaica because I don't know who's going to score the goals. I'm sorry, it's Bunny Shaw.
Yeah, you got to get your points where you get them though. I know. Yeah.
Oh no, absolutely. And there's been like so many teams. What was it? New Zealand got their first point ever in a World Cup, getting that tie. That's awesome. Absolutely, I love it.
In front of the home fans. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's the magic of the World Cup. It's great.
Yeah, and it only gets better every year, especially with the Women's World Cup, because we have nowhere to go but up. For sure.
And it continues to show that and more countries are more so willing to put like financial aid in developing women's soccer. So like we're getting just more investments and more just injections of cash in these different countries, and watching these nations just rise up. It's cool. It's very cool to see. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
It's not just a top four anymore.
Yeah, no, we have England. Haiti was 1-0. Like if you had told me 4 years ago what a score between England and Haiti would have been, I would have been like 5-0. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that game.
Not.
Yeah.
Canada was 2-1 against the Republic of Ireland. That too, like I don't remember Ireland ever really being a competitor.
There's a lot more parity. Yeah, the teams are getting a lot more close, and it's cool. Yeah, I love it.
Awesome.
I just love
watching.
I
love it. It's made my what's the bracket? I can think of the word. It's like
the brackets.
That's not the word. It's made my bracket turn on its head.
Mine's done already. Yeah.
Mine was done after the first one because I had New Zealand out after the first game.
I had New Zealand. I had New Zealand out. I had I had Haiti not doing well, Jamaica not doing well. Another shocker was that. No, it's.
And then tonight we have the U.S. versus the Netherlands, so that'll be interesting because that's the first.
Oh, in Norway.
Second place team.
Yeah.
First versus the second place team in Group E. But yeah, no, as you were saying, there's definitely been an influx of resources, an influx of attention, anything into women's soccer in all of these other countries. They are finally noticing that there's money to be made. I mean, it's always been there.
There are fans who will pay money for things.
And there's people who want it. They want it so bad. They don't want to wait 4 years for the men's one. Let's have it every 2 years. Hell yeah.
It's true. It's more soccer.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's more. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. And you have like these teams that are all coming too. I can't remember the other team that was their country's federation champ, but I had Vietnam. I found out Vietnam was the Asian Federation football champions. So I love that they came in. They unfortunately got kind of trounced by us. Not as trounced as I would have thought. It was only 3-0.
That's the number one team in the world. Yeah, it's the number one team in the world. We can't do,
Yeah, and it wasn't a runaway, like by any means. There was another game
that
ended like 5-0.
Yeah, the 8-0s and like the double digits of the past.
Yeah.
We're not seeing them in the World Cup anymore.
No, I don't think we'll ever have another 5-0 World Cup final like we did with Japan.
Oh, a final? Yeah.
We'll
no,
I don't think so.
Brazil's happened, but we will see.
Yeah, I think the parity is so close now. It's not.
It is true. looking at the
it's
brackets I've
not.
seen, like it's the closeness of the teams. Anyone could beat anyone really in these games. Like I've seen such a wild variety of brackets that U.S. wins, France wins, Germany wins, England wins, people all over the
Yeah,
place.
it's bonkers. It's
Mhm.
absolutely bonkers, but I love it. I love it so much. It
Oh
is
yeah.
making for an incredibly entertaining World Cup. Okay, Chris, do you have any final thoughts? Anything else that you can think of off the top of your head about women's soccer? Anything in general?
No, just the general feeling of excitement as we move into the new stages, as they're starting to build the team, as they're starting to put down like where they're going to play, the branding, just excitement. Yeah, I'll be tuned to all media about women's soccer in Tampa area that I can find because there's not a lot of outlets out there, and anything that is out there, it's not a lot out there. Yeah,
It's not great. So
yeah.
that's
So I'm
why
just
that's why you
go
got to
ahead.
listen here for sure for all your women's soccer coverage. We will be covering as much information as we can get our hands on. I know there's so many questions that we still have about the new league. We have way more questions than we have answers, so we will definitely be covering it all here. So if you've made it this far, and if you have, thank you so much. I really appreciate you listening to us ramble for 30 minutes. Um, Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, catch us on YouTube for sure to get the full experience.
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLR Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.